I'm Rachel Johnson. I'm the CEO of PiXL. We're a leadership network organisation working with thousands of schools across the country. And what we're trying to do is improve life chances and outcomes for young people through equipping our school leaders to be the agents of change for those young people. And today in Central Hall in Westminster, we've been speaking to primary school leaders, tomorrow secondary, next week post-16, where we bring all these leaders together and we start talking about the change that they want to see in the interests of benefiting young people. PiXL started from a grassroots movement, essentially from the London Challenge. So when we first started, we had no tech. We had a few people doing a few good things, sharing resources on a Dropbox drive. And PiXL really grew from there, quite organically, but very rapidly. And so one of the challenges of rapid growth is that your ideas are far bigger than your systems and the infrastructure. So in those early days, we had one person who was incredible, but we were over-reliant on him. Everything we did was made by him. And other people didn't really understand what was happening in that regard because he had it all. And so as we grew and grew and grew, and as our company advanced, we found ourselves in a predicament in that actually we can't now do some of the things that we want to do on the tech that we've got. And it became a really limiting factor. And that was what I was really keen to address. One of the issues I found, I think, in leading PiXL is that my imagination was far bigger than what I had in reality to be able to service that vision. So although I could see it in my mind's eye, what I wanted, where I wanted it to go, how I thought it could change, I had no expertise technically to help me get to that point. And I think when you're a leader in a company where you can see the vision so clearly, it's as if it's real to you, but know that on the ground, there is no possible way of making that come true because you don't know how you'd even start to make that come true. That, I think, is a real dilemma. And that's where I found myself when I started talking to Freeman Clarke, because I knew that I needed somebody to make this vision a reality, somebody who was much more technically expertise than I was and am. And I didn't need to talk the tech. What I wanted was somebody who I could describe the vision to, who could say to me, we can make this happen. And that's exactly what happened. And so when we engaged Freeman Clarke, it was around the platform. How can I make that a reality? How can I have a platform where every single one of our schools can log on and get what they need, when they need it, with who they need it from, as many times as they want? And how can we track that and know where people are going and be responsive to need, and then use that intelligence to use it in our offer so that we are giving schools what they need? So that was the big question. And I had no idea how to make that happen, no idea at all. And so I think my job as a leader was to paint the vision, to make it really clear what I wanted, why I wanted it, where the boundaries were for me, and then to let the professionals tell me how it could happen. And so when we started working with Steve, he started, as he would say, painting the art of the possible. Up until then, I'd been met with, it can't happen. Well, we can't do that. It won't work. The system won't allow it. And what he did was say, everything can be done, everything and anything. All I need from you is what needs to be done and how you want it done, and then leave all of the rest to me and we'll make it happen. And so that was February this last year. And then here we are now, less than 8 months later, with a brand new platform which is doing exactly what I wanted it to do. And thousands of school leaders are using it every day to get the support they need when they want it. When you start opening your eyes to what could be possible, then you start seeing things that you could never see before. And certainly what we've got now is way bigger and better than even I'd imagined. But it had to start somewhere. It had to start with a vision, and then it had to start with exploring who could deliver it. And Steve has helped us get there, but we've used other teams as well in other companies that he's administered and spoken to. We've got our own team who are equipped. So I think one of the jobs that Steve has done here is not just make that vision a reality, but he's helped everyone else believe it can be a reality by working with our team. So he's not parachuted in and done this to us. We've done it with him together. So it's jointly owned. And I think that's really important. There's no one coming in with a cape here saving us. Despite the fact we needed saving, I think, in some areas. What's happened is he's come in and said, right from the get-go, how are we going to do this? It's always been we, right from the first day that I met him. And that matters, because otherwise you feel helpless and you feel at the mercy of someone who decides what you should be doing. And that's never been how he's approached things. So that's helped my team. It's helped all of us get confidence and to feel enabled. And now we're even talking tech language that a year ago we didn't even know. I would absolutely recommend Freeman Clark to a business, whether it's in education or outside of education. If you are in need of support, you can't or don't want to appoint someone internally to have one person doing it all on their shoulders. If you want someone who sees outside into other businesses, who understands the landscape, who comes with possible solutions, who works with you to make your vision a reality, then I couldn't recommend Freeman Clark highly enough. So yeah, I would hugely recommend getting somebody in to help you to see the art of the possible and to make change happen.